We're back again, and here we are. We're going to go over on how to add a person to your roster, your club roster, edit rosters, and we're going to talk about rosters. So we're logged into our club profile, and we're going to go into the club membership tab, which is the fourth tab from the left. Club membership, we'll click on club membership, and here we are. So the first thing we see in here, we have a count that was in the roster, 123 people. You should always check that to make sure it's right. And then we can add to the roster. We have a list of administrators. So we know that we have 2 administrators for the account, Sarah McCatherine and myself. And then we could search the roster. And we did this in the past video, searching the roster. So this is the same one again. This one's a little more, not as detailed. The search results, if you click on find, it'll give you everybody in there. And you can see that's pretty much just the full name, member type, city, state, email address, and the full address. So it's in general, so you can kind of get a quick look at your roster. And of course, you can put a last name, first name, email. I think we'll add AAF ID on here too. But that's how you can search your roster. And of course, as always, you can export your list out. But more importantly, let's talk about adding someone to the roster. There's 2 ways of adding someone to the roster. You can add someone who may already be in the database. And what I suggest before you do add someone new, to search. So we're going to do 2 things. We're going to do, let's search and see if someone's in it. So you pull up, you hit add. I'll go back again because that went kind of quick. We're going to add to the roster right up here. Add to the roster. The AF ID, if we know it. And then this is a good thing, you should use your AF ID. If you know someone, add the AF ID. If not, let's put in here. So I'm going to use my default one. And let's see if Lester Pinnock is in our roster or in the database. We'll hit find. No, he's not in the database. So let's hit add new. And we will fill this all out. Again, I don't want to add it to this roster, but you'll fill this out as necessary, and then you'll save, and the person is already in the database. They will be added to your roster, and you can search from down there. I want to find someone who is not. Let's see if we can do someone who is not. Oh, I did a first name, last name, so let's do Pinnock. Let's see if he's in here. There he is. Let's go at his name. And we said we want to change his name to, we don't want to add him as a company administrator. So you have 2 options here for your admin. You can add someone as a company administrator, which means you will give them rights. If you add them as a company administrator, you still have to call membership so they can flick it on. You can do this part, but then they have to confirm it on their back end. As a member, you do not. So we're going to keep as member, which is default, and we hit save and close. We know our account went up, and let's see if he's added. We'll do Pinnock. There he is. So we know he is in the database. We can click on his profile, and there he is. And if we need to edit the person, we did that in the we can go ahead and edit that person. And that's all, is adding someone to the profile. So we want to do it again. Let's make sure we'll add to the roster, individual. If we know the AF ID or the last name starts with, first name starts with, we'll add them to the roster. You do want to make sure that there are duplicates in there, that you're adding a person in there. So if we know someone, let's do a person that we know is in a different branch, a different club. We don't want to just take them out of another club. So got that one in there. Let me see if I can add someone. I'm trying to find a name that I can use. Well, let's just make up a name. So we did Smith. And we want to make sure that we have the right people before we add. So we want to look at them, include it in roster. As we can see, yes, yes, yes. these people are already included to a roster. So we don't want to take them out of someone else's roster and add to your roster. So you want to make sure, one, they are not included in the roster. If they're not included in the roster, then we can go back and then add them. So no, right here, but you do want to make sure that that is the right person you're referring to. And that's it for adding someone to the roster. It's pretty plain and simple. Click on add to roster, but the key points to adding someone to the roster is, one, you want to make sure that the person, when you search the person, that is the right person. If it's not, then add new and create an account for them, and that will add them to the roster. If it's not the right person, you want to make sure that you don't click on it and take them out of another club's roster and mess up their roster. So be very careful with that. If you have any questions, as always, let us know. We'll be here to help you. Thanks.